Top secrets of the postal industry revealed. Let's talk about it. All right, the postal industry. Now, before the BRICS nations asset-backed digital currency, the post office is actually the only entity that I know of publicly that is actually solvent. That's right, it's backed by gold, which makes it a very, very unique type of industry. And the postal industry has been around since 1775. The Continental Congress created it before they started the Revolutionary War. And the reason for that is the postal industry operates outside of countries' jurisdictions, even though each country does make some guidelines and codes for them. And the reason for that is because if war ever breaks out, there must be continuity of communication amongst all the nations. So the Postal Service is actually kind of like its own unique, separate kind of entity that operates outside of governmental agencies. Benjamin Franklin was the first Postmaster General. By definition, we all are Postmaster Generals because we sort, receive, and mail and deliver parcels and goods and postage. It's always important to look at the foundations of things, and back in the day, what they used to do in order to give documents value and make sure that fees were paid is they would put stamps on top of them. And a stamp is actually a form of currency, believe it or not. And what you can do as the Postmaster General is you can actually put a postage stamp on a document and sign through it, and that cancels that stamp and gives that document value. If you really want to step up your game on giving a document value, you can do things like this. This right here encompasses all three of the major jurisdictions. You have the pre-1933 silver, which is the Republican form common law of government. Then you have the Federal Registered Warrant Claim Number, which is a silver certificate, which is equitable. And then you have the International Commercial Interest, which is a Red Fox stamp. The Red Fox stamp is a very unique stamp, if not the only one, that the dollar sign actually has the double bar on the S. Here's a couple secrets. So a P.O. box is a non-contracting venue, which basically means that if somebody tries to put you into a contractual obligation and they're using a P.O. box, it is not good for legal purposes for certain instruments. So you don't want to use a P.O. box to try to contract with. There's also something called the mailbox rule, which basically means that if you have a bill that is due on a certain date, let's say it's due on the 12th, and you put it inside of a mailbox before midnight on the 12th, it is considered received. So if you ever get fined or feed for lateness, if you put a check in the mail the day that it is due, it is considered received by the recipient, even though it was on that date, and they have to remove the fine or fee from that liability. Another trick is if you ever get spam mail and it has a return envelope, anything over like an ounce, they have to actually pay postage for. So what you can do is put all kinds of weights in it and send it back, and they have to pay a lot of money for how heavy that item is, and they'll stop sending you spam mail. Another trick is you can send mail anywhere in America for 3 cents. If you start operating in the Republic, and how you can do this is by putting general delivery, non-domestic, without the United States, and you put the chapter of the congressional record where they're bound by it, and it will get through. You basically be operating in the Republic. And when dealing in the Republic, if you're doing certified mail, that is the green card return receipt that you want to use. You don't ever want to do registered. Registered is federal, and that's more of a public benefit.